Today, I'm going to talk to you about purple eyeshadow, how to bring out the little green that's in your eye, or a big green if you've got green eyes. I try to do my eyeshadows first. So if I'm going to do a bold eye, which is the look that I'm going to do for you today, I'll try to do that first. Does it always work out? No. It doesn't always work out, but it did today. So that's what we're going to start with. So first things first, you can see that my eyelids are a completely different tone than my face. So no matter what shadow you're doing, go ahead and color correct your eyes first. So this is my base highlight color. For me, this is amber, and I will never not be amazed at how this just knocks out all the different tones. So usually I'll do it with my finger, and sometimes I need to get right up against that lash line, and it cancels out all the tones. And if you're trying a new color or a soft color, or you just love the color that you're working with, make sure that you take the time to do this, because what that will do is, one, it will prime your lids, it will keep your color there longer, it will keep your color true to the color in the tin that you want to see, no matter what kind of makeup you're using. So always take a second to do that. Now, I will tend to have lids that get a little weepy, and so what I will do sometimes, I'm going to do it today because of the bold colors, I will kind of set my highlight with the Vanilla Dust setting powder, and this is the palette that we're going to use today. So I'll take that in there and kind of set my highlight in my lid, and that prevents creasing, and it helps the color stay there longer, which is like great if you're going to take the time to do your lashes. So that's the first thing. Hey everybody. Okay, so what I'm going to do is work with this color scheme, because I have just a little green in my eye, but if I wear some purple, oh my gosh, holy mackerel. So let me see if I can, oh yeah, how about this? This is what we're going to do. I always tend to do this one first. So let's look at this color palette. So this is Cupcake. You can use that as a wash or a base if you don't do your highlight first, and I can do that. It's kind of like the same what we just did with Vanilla Dust. We're going to use London all over. This is a color called As If, and this is Midnight, and this is Unicorn. So that's our palette for today. I'm going to use the Eyeshadow Everything brush, and I also have the Blend and Tap brush, which is not that one, which is this one. And you guys have seen these tools so many times over the last 2 days. So I'm going to get a little product on, tap it off. The reason we tap it off is so it doesn't fall out if you do your highlight and contour first. So I'm just going to do a basic windshield wash. Now, we just heard Alyssa talk a little bit about hooded eyes, and I have them too. I also have uneven eyes. This one is shaped totally different than that one, and in fact, most of us are that way. I tend to be a little hypersensitive about it, and it's a little bit about me. So use your brush for brushing. When you're doing a windshield wiper, you don't need to control it. You're wanting to put a light coat. And the thing about eyeshadows is you really have to become a student of your own eye. You have to know where the folds are, how much real estate you're working with. You need to know what your eyes do when they're open and what is visible. So sometimes a tip that helped me when I was starting, and I'm going to zoom out here, was to kind of hold the mirror down, because inevitably when you do that, your lids are going to be open. So if you struggle with keeping them open while you're doing your eyeshadow, look down and start your application, okay? So, yes. Now, for girls that don't have hooded eyes, or don't have eyes that kind of like recess back into the eye socket, you can create this same crease look. And the reason we talk about the crease is because it gives dimension. And dimension is what makes things look interesting, which make things look appealing, which is why we love contour, because it creates shadow, shows off the brightness on the other side, and adds interest, and is appealing to the eye. So if you are like a monolid, if you will, and your eyes look like this when they're open, you can take a more dense end of the brush, and you'll still be able to feel under your brow bone, and you can create a darker crease to add some dimension if you have a monolid. So practice playing with that. And I will be the first to tell you, and I know you've heard this before, we aren't makeup artists. There's a couple girls in mascara that are, and God, we eat them up, we learn from them. But these are all just practical things that are easy for us to do, and we love sharing them. So you can go ahead and take that crease and make it as dark as you want. Now, you're going to just windshield wiper that. You can bring it all the way over if you want. Now, if you feel like you have small eyes and want to waken them up, take your crease just about halfway. Okay, you can always soften and blend it out. And another interesting thing about eyeshadow is that we use a couple different colors to draw interest, because building of the colors creates that dimension, and really that's really what makes things look natural. The blending takes away any harsh lines, and the harsh lines are what makes it look fake and phony, and like kind of 80s. So that's what we're all about, blending. Okay, now I'm going to use a little bit of this As If on the pencil end of the Eyeshadow Everything brush. And what I like to teach is to break your eye into thirds, okay? The outer third, the middle third, the inner third. And you can create interest by using different tones in your eyeshadow palette. The easiest thing to do is to start from light to dark. No, I said that wrong. Dark to light. Dark on the outside, lighten up on the inside. And the inside, to keep it light, is really positive because in here, it tends to be the darkest tone on our face. We lose fat as we get older, it's very thin, the skin is thin, and it tends to be the darkest part. So when we add brightness there, it opens us up. So let's use a little as if on this outer corner. And I've heard a couple of the artists talk about this, about how you can apply these same techniques to any palette that you have. And it's so true. Okay, for my girls that need to open up your eye and have a brow bone, take that on the actual brow bone. Leave a sliver under the arch of your brow to draw up the arch of your brow and to open. And I have to do my little trick here. When I close my eye, it looks like this V shape on the outer third looks really like a number 7. When I open it up, this all goes away. So I actually have to go really inward there. And what I'm gonna do is pull this, oops, a little bit. Might have gone a little too far, but that's okay. You know the answer to that. We're just gonna blend it. Okay. What I want to do is use my multitasker brush, and I know you've seen this trick from the other artists before. I'm going to use that as a good old eyeliner for that really deep purple, as if. But first, let me go do the other eye before I forget, because that's what's going to happen. So I have to go out here and then way in. Can you guys see that? Is the light like totally weird? I have to almost bring that to the center of my pupil, because when I open up, there, you can see it. And if you've, gone too deep or you think it's too crazy, soften it up. Just swirl it out. Now, I have to play a little tricky here, just for fun. I kind of have to go a little higher on the outside here, something I've learned about the way my eyes are shaped. One thing that helped me try a bolder eyeshadow look was to keep in mind that they don't have to be perfect, but they just need to be sisters. You need to have the same amount in the general same location, and it's nothing to fret about because nobody's going to come up to you and be like, you've got a little bit more. And if they are, they shouldn't be your friend. So we don't want to, we don't need to worry and stress about it that much. It can be intimidating when you're trying new things for sure, but don't stress about it too much. Okay, now let me go and use my multitasker brush, this teeny weeny brush. I'm going to spray it. I think I saw Megan do this a little earlier. I know a bunch of our girls love to do this too. So I'm going to spray the multitasker with the Stay Spray, then dip it in to my as if, and then come right on. You probably can't even see this because my hand's there. All the way in. When I pull out the camera, I think you'll be able to get a better view, but I always want to see eyeshadow tutorials up close, so that's what we're doing. Okay, other side. All right, so do a little cover there. I also like to come up underneath because that waterline there tends to get a little thicker as we get older, and covering that up is an easy way to look a little bit more youthful. Okay, what I'm going to do next is go into Starlight Illuminator. Who's tried Starlight Illuminator? It looks really white, and I will tell you that it has like a pink shimmer, surprise shimmer to it. It's really fun, and it's one we don't see a ton, talked about a ton, but I thought it would go really pretty with this purple look. So I'm going to put it right there in the inner part, and then even drag it over toward the center a little bit. So what I'm going to do as a follow-up is do my whole hack and take a picture so you can see the whole effect. Yay. But what I will then do is make sure that I use that Starlit Illuminator on my cheeks as well, because us mascara girls love some pretty and practical, and we love multitasking, and I will give you a better picture of what that's all going to look like. Okay, so I think it's looking just a little sloppy. I almost don't ever love any eyeshadow until I get my whole face on, darken up my brows, and even do my lashes. For some reason, it still feels kind of messy even when I do that. All right, so last little bit to lift is to take, I've mixed the cupcake with the unicorn and gave a soft swipe up here. Now, I will tell you, I have my eyebrows microbladed, and because of that, you can see if I put a powder over it, it softens them up and gives them like a little gray look. So I will definitely be sure to go back in and clean up my eyebrows when I do my hack, and go in, kind of looking for my other brushes right now, with my hotline brush and my contour, and clean that up and just create a softer, a more defined look, so that there's not like a powdery residue. There we go. See how easy that was? So easy. Just helps frame the eye a lot better. So I think you saw one of the other girls was saying you can clean up your look, your eye look, with your highlight right there. So all those things come together. Purples can look a little intimidating. I will definitely empathize with you on that. But a little goes a long way, and if you've got any green that you want to highlight, it works amazing. And so many people will come up to you and be like, your eyes look so great. I never realized that you had green in your eyes. It is so, so amazing. We love some pretty and practical. Yes, I can give you all of the feedback about microblading. I've had it done a couple times over the course of like the last 5 years. It's wonderful. Best thing ever. Only tattoo I have.